Hello, this is Doc Karen from the Ask Dr. Karen series. I'm here to answer another question. This one is very important as it is an issue that impacts a lot of people I know. This question is actually from a friend of mine named Sherry, who wrote me and asked for me to address this issue. And I'm just going to paraphrase what she says here. She addresses an issue about her family not getting it. She says, my family just does not get it. They're not supportive. She wants to know, what do I do to make them understand? She believes that her time here on earth is limited. I am a survivor of the same illness that Sherry has survived, and it's brutal. It really is. We survived Cushing's, and now we both have adrenal insufficiency, which is also life-threatening. So I want to say, I 100% get it. You live each day just with so much gratitude for surviving that day, and there's a lot of anxiety that comes with the possibility of not making it. Is really honestly our faith that continues to help us thrive and strive each and every day. So I totally get it. In the latter part of her question, she talks about how, she doesn't know how much time she has left. And her family doesn't really take it seriously. So she wants to know, how do we deal with this issue? And so, like I do with in all of my other questions, I took some time to think about it, process what the question was, and jot down some notes. And I would just like to have a casual talk with you and basically, address this issue. And there are some points that I'd like to convey here, and there are three major points. The first one is going to possibly ruffle some of your feathers, okay? I'm going to use the word forgive, and you'll hear me use that word quite frequently. I did in another one of my videos. And in that video, I talked about forgiveness of self. In this instance, I'm going to talk about the forgiveness of the ignorance of your loved ones. Again, that's forgiveness of the ignorance of your loved ones. And when I say ignorance, I'm going to define ignorance as the lack of knowledge or understanding of a particular viewpoint or issue, okay? And I can totally relate. I 100% get it. Sometimes your friends and family, they don't understand. And I myself have had times of extreme frustration where I said to myself, they are never, ever, ever going to get it because they have not walked in my shoes. I want to say that just because someone has not experienced the exact same thing that you have doesn't mean that they cannot demonstrate compassion and or empathy. Empathy being defined as the act of putting yourself in another person's shoes, even if you cannot necessarily relate, okay? So a person can be empathic towards you even if they haven't had the same experiences. However, with that said, many, many, many people are not going to get it. And, I've talked about in other videos how it is difficult for loved ones to witness our journeys and to witness the process that we're going through, to witness our pain. And oftentimes they have their own coping mechanisms for dealing. Sometimes that mechanism is denial. There's many mechanisms that our loved ones might use. But I can't read minds, neither can you, so you will never know why they seem to not understand. All I can tell you is this. Am I telling you you can never be angry, upset, disappointed, frustrated? No, I'm not telling you that, because as I have addressed in the past, you may be angry at times. That's one of the stages of loss, is anger. You may be angry at times. You may experience disappointment. You may be upset at the particular situation or your current circumstances. But the anger that I'm referring to is the anger and the resentment that we may hold towards that other person. So when I say to forgive and to release that anger, to let it go, what I am saying is to release the anger towards your loved ones for not getting it. I do want to make a point here. Forgiveness does not mean condoning and or accepting the behaviors or the attitudes of those individuals. So it doesn't mean that you are okay with it. Not at all. The act of forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about you, yourself. It is really for yourself. It's an act or behavior that we engage in order to find peace within ourselves. So that's the first thing I want to convey here, okay? The second point, and this is even harder, is to come to a point of acceptance that they may never, and I mean never, get it, okay? I've talked about acceptance in other videos as well, but in this case, you are accepting that even though you want your loved ones to 100% get that you're in pain, that you can't get out of bed every day, the significance of your illness, they just might not get it. And when you and the audience, when you ask, how can I get them to understand, I want to stress this point, because it's not up to you for them to understand. You can do things, which I will address in a little bit, to help with the process, but you are not accountable. It is not your weight to carry. It is up to your loved one to take their own empowered conscious stance, make their own empowered conscious choice to do the research, to read the materials that you give them, to listen to what you're saying. That's all on them. That is not on you. Now, with that said, if you're not able to accept, and this may come at your own pace in your own time, then you're going to drive yourself nuts. And trust me when I say I've been there, I've done that. So I know. One example is, I love to share the spoon theory. And basically, the spoon theory is a metaphor that was created to describe the amount of energy that it takes for individuals with chronic illness to survive and function every single day. And I share this article with absolutely everyone I know. Yet, I still have people that are upset, disappointed, frustrated, angry, resentful towards me if they see me able to engage in an activity one day and I'm not able to come to their event at a later date. Well, here's the issue. I've stressed in so many ways and at so many different times that just because I have a certain amount of energy one day doesn't mean I'll have the same amount of energy the next day. I used to make myself blue in the face trying to explain this idea over and over and over again, and yet certain people would not get it. And I just came to realize that not everyone's going to get it. And once I came to a point of acceptance and let it go and allowed myself to say to myself, this is their issue, it's not my issue, I felt so much much more peace with it than I had previously. The third thing I want to share with you is that I wrote down here is to share the knowledge. Be proactive. Okay, like I just said, it's not on you for them to get it, but you can empower your own self by making an empowered conscious choice to share the knowledge. Do what you can. So if that means sharing websites, and I'll share some of the websites that I know about in the description. If it means sharing websites, sharing theories, posting videos, sending people to different Facebook pages that speak about your chronic illness, putting people in support groups that involve loved ones and things of that nature. That is extremely important, and that can feel like a powerful act to you. So to continue to do that, and do it despite the response of your loved ones. Do it for you. Do it to empower yourself. And lastly, Sherry and everyone else, remember, you are a warrior. You fight every day to survive. You may fear that your time is limited, but guess what? I know that you're fighting every single day to live. So live on. You're a warrior, and I am so, so proud of you. Talk to you soon. Bye.